All right, so you bought Livescope and you're ready to get it on your boat. Well, it is not very hard to do. So do not take your boat to somebody to do it. If you have basic knowledge of tools, if you have a drill, some screwdrivers, you can get this done. You can get it done. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need. But what I opted to go with was the Garmin 93 SV. This is a Livescope compatible unit. Some people like 10-inch, some people like 12-inch. That's all a personal preference. I just went with the 9-inch. I can see it perfectly fine. So that's the unit that I went with. Whatever unit you want to hook it up to, you just want to make sure that it is Livescope compatible. So I ended up going with the Bass Pro over the pedal mount. Now, the reason that I like this mount, and some of them you buy are really tall anyway, but this particular graph bridge, you can adjust it a little bit higher or a little bit lower. And I was able to put it in the high setting, so I was able to keep my tool holder. Now, I really like, having my tools up here and being able to use my tools, so I did not want to get rid of that. I know some people have said once you put the over the pedal bridge on there, you can't use your tool holder anymore. Well, this particular one, you can. You just put it in the high setting. So you can use whatever graph bridge you want, but that's the one that I went with. Now, one thing to take into consideration is you access underneath the front deck on these boats by raising up the trolling motor pedal tray. So you have screws in there and you take that out, and that's how you access underneath the deck. So you cannot drill through and put nuts and washers to hold your graph bridge on, because you won't be able to access underneath of it and mount your trolling motor tray back down because you have screws on both sides. So that's just something to take into consideration. So with that being said, I used just self-tapping stainless screws. So some fairly good size stainless self-tapping screws. I ran them right in. I have my other units on my deck with self-tapping screws as well. And I've been in some really rough water and had no issues. So if you use some good heavy stainless screws to hold it to your deck, you will not have an issue. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about how I routed the wires from the front of the boat to where I power it and where I have my black box. And then we're also going to talk about the transducer and how I ran those wires. All right, so as you can see, I have the transducer mounted and I have it right here over the trolling motor head. It's suggested about 2 or 3 inches right above the head, so that's where I mounted it. And I used the regular forward facing mount. I didn't put the mount on it where I was going to use perspective mode. You can do that if you want, but I just used the regular mount. I came up the shaft. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that you leave this little loop right here, so when your trolling motor head twists, it doesn't bind this up. So I just came up and I have this trolling motor sleeve right here, this jacket sleeve, and I ran down to up here in front of the trolling motor pedal tray. And I just have the wires just in a ball coiled up right over here. Now, from the back of your unit, I ran right here and you have this little hole. I want to show it to you all right here that you can take your wires down through. So your power wire and your transducer wire are going to come up through here. So you just route that right through there. Now, to get your wires from underneath your trolling motor pedal back to your front box, which is where we got the black box and our power source, you have to drill a hole in the side. I'm going to show it best I can right here in the side of your trolling motor pedal tray. Now, that's a 1 1/4 inch hole. So 1 1/4 inch hole through the side. Battery just died on that, but a 1 1/4 inch hole through the side. And what you do is you buy a grommet off Amazon, and they're called a Garmin wire grommet, I believe is what it's called. But your unit comes with one. When you buy the transducer, Livescope transducer and black box, it comes with one, but you'll need to order an extra one of those. So what you're going to do is you're going to drill through the side. You're going to take your trolling motor pedal tray out, drill through the side, and that's fiberglass, so make sure you're wearing a mask or don't get it stuck all in your hands and all. But you're going to route your wires through that, through the front of your hull. Now, one thing, all this right here is some foam along the side. You have your rod tubes that come up through the middle right here, and all this is open space. Now, you have a factory bus bar that is underneath the deck right here. It's a factory bus bar. Now, I recommend upgrading that bus bar, but you can use it to power your front unit that you're gonna be running your Livescope on. You're not gonna run your black box off that bus bar, but you're gonna be running your front unit. That can be the power source. You can run a separate bus bar and run new wire up if you want, but you can power your front unit with that factory bus bar. That is how you're gonna power the front unit itself, is by your power source you have up here, whether it be the factory bus bar or a bus bar you added. You can run the power right off of that for your head unit. Now, where you're gonna run your power for your black box off is a different story. I'm gonna show you all that right now. So we're gonna back up a little bit. You drilled a hole right here in the side of your pedal. You have your wires, your power wire routed right here to your bus bar, where you're going to get the power for your front unit right here. All right, and your transducer wire is also running through here, and it's going to go to your black box. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get in the front box. I'm going to show you all where I installed the black box and my power source, and you're going to see that it's really easy. All right, so we're right here. We got the front compartment open. I'm going to show you all where I installed the black box, how I ran the wires through, and how I power the black box. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a peek. I'll show you all with the camera right here. We're going to take a peek in here. So here's your black box, and as you can see, I'm powering my black box with 20-volt DeWalt batteries. Now, these are just batteries off of Amazon. These are not actual DeWalt batteries, but they do perfectly fine. So you can see right here, I routed my wires right through the front of this box. Now, this is a 1 1/4 hole right here. You can use a 1 1/4 inch hole saw, same as you used up front. So you have your transducer wire right here, and you have your power wire, which comes off of your, well, you have your drill battery, and I'm going to show you all how I power with that. And then you have your network cable right here. So this is the transducer cable, network cable, power cable. So you have to drill a hole this big because this transducer cable is really big. This end of it is really, really big. So that's why you have to drill a hole so big to come through here. But like I said, it comes with this grommet, and this is the grommet you want to use up front as well. So you take this, you cut the middle out a little bit so you can fit your wires through, put a little bit of silicone on there so it stays in place, and that keeps your wires from getting scraped up. You never want to do this and not use the grommet, because if you do, your transducer wire and your network cable will get scuffed up, and you're going to have a mess. You're going to have to be getting another one from Garmin. So on to the power source. As you can see right here, I have the good old DeWalt battery. So the way you charge or run your black box off the DeWalt battery is you buy, they call it a C-Pack, but basically this is one that I ordered off of eBay. Okay, so this is just one I ordered off of eBay, and I believe it was called like Power Wheels 20-volt conversion, something like that. You can order them from a marine place as well, but that just slides right on there, and you got power to your unit right there. I mean, just as easy as it can be. So I just put a little wire holder right here to hold the wires up, ran right here, and it plugs right into your box. So your box is running off of a 20-volt DeWalt drill battery. So that's like the simplest, cleanest install that you can do on these boats, I believe, because it takes up minimal space, and it's right up there in the front of your box, and you're using, 20-volt DeWalt batteries, so you have your power source right there for your black box. Your front unit is ran off of, your house battery, so your cranking battery basically. And like I said, it comes with a stock bus bar up front. They're kind of cheesy, I'm going to be honest, so you might want to upgrade it. I upgraded mine personally, but that's where I run the power for my front unit. The power for my black box comes off the DeWalt drill battery. What I will do is I will find that conversion kit for that DeWalt battery, and I will link it in the description. And then I will also link the grommet that I bought on Amazon in the description as well, because you'll need to order an extra one of those. You can order the 20-volt batteries and the conversion, little conversion kit for that to run your unit off of on eBay as well. So super, super simple install. Do not take your boat anywhere to get this done. This is really, really easy. You know, basic power tools. You need a drill with a 1 1/4 inch hole saw. You need a drill with a Phillips, you know, Phillips head bit. And then you need some self-tapping stainless screws. And that's something else. I use self-tapping stainless screws to mount the black box in the bottom, you know, right here in the front compartment. Just self-tapping screws, run them right through, and just a simple, clean install. You can see I got my spare battery right here. I mean, it's as easy as it can get. So, and if you're wondering about how long these batteries last, okay, these are 6 amp hour. So they last about 4 hours a piece. I have some 8 amp hour ones that are on the way, and I believe that I'm gonna be able to get 6 hours or so a piece out of those. So a whole day, no problem of, you know, no problem. If you fish a whole day of 8, 10 hours, they should last you no problem running your black box, and then you're gonna have your front unit running off of your house battery. So if you have any questions, just ask me down below. I'll do my best to answer them, but just, it's a super, super easy install. Drill through the side of your trolling motor pedal tray, you know, route your wires through, come through this empty space right here in the front of the boat, and come out right here in the corner of that front box right there, and you know, mount your black box, and you have your battery right there, and you're good to go. You're going to be scoping fish in no time and catching them. I've had it for a couple days now, and it's pretty cool to watch your bait, watch the fish, how they react and all, which honestly, I've had a lot of fish not reacting because the fishing's been a little bit tough. But, you know, if you're thinking about getting it and thinking about getting somebody to install it for you, don't do it. Do it yourself. Super, super easy. Like I said, any questions, hit me up in the comments down below. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you next time on Gunfish TV.